All right, welcome to Module 5, my relationship plan. During the last module, you looked at your relationship needs, your wants, and you finalized your relationship history and personality traits. During this section, you're going to be using that information to start writing down what you are wanting in a relationship. You're going to be completing activities that include the life profile, the lifetime partner profile, as well as goals for living your vision. I'm going to be taking a few minutes now to explain each of these activities. During the self profile and the lifetime partner profile, you'll notice that they're very similar. The self profile will be, where are you at right now? You're going to have to summarize your current status in each of the areas. For example, you'll have to summarize your status of physical, mental, and emotional health, your status of work and career, your lifestyle status, your current status of finances, of family, your primary interests, your current status of values and life purpose, spiritual beliefs and practices, and your dominant personality traits. Now, in your lifetime partner profile, this is where you have an opportunity to really think about who is this ideal person for you. What does he or she have in terms of minimum requirements? We're going to suggest that you write down your minimum requirements and standards for these areas. Your preferred age range, your minimum required status of physical, mental, and emotional health, your minimum required status of work and career, your minimum required lifestyle that this person has, your minimum required status of finances, as well as minimum required status of family, their minimum required shared interest, minimum required shared values, minimum required spiritual beliefs and practices, and the minimum required dominant personality traits. So the activities that you've done in the last few modules will really help you to zone in on your lifetime partner profile. This activity, the goals for living your vision, is when you start thinking specifically of what you want in your life and how you're going to be achieving what you want in your life. It's time to develop your action plans based on what you've discovered and uncovered over the last few weeks. You know, as the saying goes, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Developing a plan to take you from where you are to where you want to be, your vision, will help you get into action. And until you take action, your dreams have no chances of being realized. Your relationship coach can help motivate you into action and keep you on track. This support will accelerate the process of achieving your dreams and goals for a fulfilling love relationship. You know, you've worked really, really hard to get to this point in the conscious dating program. And now it's time for you to reap the benefits and begin to see the results. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about accountability now, which is the secret sauce of coaching. One of the benefits of coaching is that you are held accountable by your coach. When you're accountable to someone, it greatly increases the likelihood that you will achieve your goals. Research shows that the probability of successfully completing a goal is 10% if you hear an idea. But listen to this, it increases to 25% if you consciously decide to adopt it, increases to 40% if you decide when you will do it, to 50% if you plan how you will do it, 65% if you commit to someone else that you will do it, and 95% if you have a specific accountability appointment with the person to whom you're committed to, like your relationship goal. You also want your goals to be SMART. A well-designed goal includes a written plan of action. This criteria exists in the SMART acronym to remind you of this fact. You want to ask yourself, have you developed a written plan of action? Have you created milestones to ensure progress by setting dates next to these action steps? We're going to go through each one of these items now to make sure that you're well on your way to writing SMART goals. So the S is for specific. Achieving goals demands focus. Our mind needs specific targets to work effectively. It can't operate well with vague generalities. State exactly what you wish to accomplish. Top achievers know that to reach their goals, the brain must know exactly and precisely what they're trying to accomplish. Never word a goal with vague terms like some or a little bit or more. Be specific. If you want 2 dates in a month, then specify it in those exact numbers. I want 2 dates a month. If you want to save $200 a month, for example, be exact. Your brain can help you accomplish almost anything if it knows precisely what you're aiming for. Let's move on now to measurable. A goal without a measurable outcome is just a pipe dream. You can't achieve a pound of happiness or 6 inches of self-esteem, but you can get 2 dates in a month. You can get a new job. You can run a mile in under 7 minutes, for example, or do 100 sit-ups. Someone has wisely observed that what gets measured gets done. So define your goals in terms of height, weight, numbers, dollars, inches, or hours, for example. Then measure your progress until you achieve your desired outcome. Many people set goals, they'll never know whether or not they've attained them. So to be successful or to be knowledgeable, what does that really mean? They aren't goals because there's no benchmark. Be sure to have measurable goals with a deadline. You also want your goals to be achievable, attainable, and action-oriented. It's much easier to measure things that are being done. What are the action steps you'll take in the process of achieving your goal? So if you want 2 dates a month, what are the action steps you'll need to be able to get 2 dates a month? No one can muster the enthusiasm, the hard work, and courage to reach a goal they don't really care about. A reachable goal is one you really, really, really want. It's something that will change your life, enhance your health or wealth, and make you proud. It gets your juices flowing, gets you up in the morning, and keeps you going all day long because it's important, and it's important to you. So you want to set goals that are worth achieving. You also want your goals to be attainable. When you identify goals that are most important to you, you begin to figure out ways you can make them come true. You develop the attitudes and the abilities and skills and financial capacity to reach them. You begin seeing previously overlooked opportunities to bring yourself closer to the achievement of your goals. You can attain most any goal you set when you plan your steps wisely and establish a time frame that allows you to carry out those steps. Goals that may have seemed far away and out of reach eventually move closer and become attainable, not because your goals shrink, but because you grow and expand to match them. When you list your goals, you build your self-image. You see yourself as worthy of these goals and develop the traits and personality that allow you to possess them. You also want your goals to be realistic. Now, this is your call. What's realistic to you may not be to someone else. Your objective has to be within the realm of your believability. If you can't envision yourself having 2 dates a month, then you won't. Often planning action by taking small baby steps makes it easier to achieve your goal. In developing your goals, you must examine if the goal that you're considering is actually realistic to achieve. Based upon everything else going on in your life, do you have the resources, the time, the money, or the skills to accomplish your goal? Are you biting off more than you can chew? Have you considered the obstacles that you may face in order to achieve the goals? What resources will you require? For example, if you want 2 dates a month, do you have the money to go out on dates? Do you have the time to go out on dates? And do you have the skills to ask someone out on a date or to plan a date? So do you have the skills to accomplish the task? If not, have you created a plan to acquire these resources? And what people or organizations must you enlist in order for you to acquire the resources? If your current plan or situation makes it unrealistic to achieve your goal, you have choices. You must either change your action plan, change your effort, or change your goal. Now, the last letter in SMART is T. T is for time bound, time specific. Your SMART goals must be time bound and time sensitive. One of the most important steps and often neglected in creating goals is deciding upon a specific deadline and writing the date down. So when the goal, you must have a deadline to hold yourself accountable to. And if you don't, every distraction of life will throw you off track and time will slip by without seeing any significant progress towards reaching your goals. As well, having a specific deadline allows you to work backwards from the goal and create milestones in your action plan. So if your goal is to lose 10 pounds in 10 weeks, then you know that you could lose a pound a week. If your goal is to have 2 dates a month, then you know you have 4 weeks in a month to accomplish 2 dates. You may want to have 1 date every 2 weeks, for example. And you might want to set your time looking at a calendar by determining by which date would you like to have your goal, your date in this example. So goal must have a target date. If you desire to make $1 million but don't set the timeline for it, it won't be motivating. A deadline too far in the future is too easily put off. And a goal that's set too close is not only unrealistic, but sometimes it's discouraging. So if you set these things in mind as you plan your goals, you'll meet with more success and have more fun doing so. So you want to ask yourself, what can you do to achieve your goals? What do you want in your life? What do you want in your vision and your life as a life partner? Where do you see your life now? And where do you see your life going? What do you need to do to achieve your vision? Using SMART goals is the way to go at it. So if you want to get better at setting and achieving goals, you want to use the SMART goals. Specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and timely. All right, now's the time to start thinking of some of the goals you want to accomplish. You do want to use the SMART formula to write your goals down. Now, a couple of ways that you could do this is by looking at the life wheel that you used at the beginning of the program. In the life wheel, there were different areas. For example, there was the career area or the lifestyle area, physical goals, for example. Now, or you might want to just look at your life and set goals in different areas of your life. The life wheel is a good way of using a model. You also want to write down what the goal is, be very specific using the SMART formula, and ask yourself, what date will I be accomplishing this goal by? What obstacles might I face? What resources might I need? And what action steps are required to achieve the goal? So if you want to have 2 dates a month, for example, when do you want to have these dates by? And what action steps might you need to take? For example, you may need to go to an event. Well, what event and when would that event be? So what would be the start date and when would you like to complete this event by? So each action step that you will write out is written in order for you to accomplish your goal. So each step should have a start date and should have an end date and a date by when you're going to be completing that particular goal. Enjoy this part of the process. Allow yourself to dream, but also remember to be smart.